This is episode number 2 of the Online Playmaker Sessions. This week's episode is with my friend from the UK, top earning affiliate, infomarketer, and marketing trainer, Gavin Mountford.
Welcome to the Online Playmaker Sessions. This is the place for the latest what's working now strategies from the best online playmakers, the top marketers, the rising stars who are making it happen right now. Every week, you'll get real, actionable lessons that you can take and apply immediately in your business, delivered in short 20-minute sessions. Our focus is your results. Here's your host, entrepreneur, world-class trainer, and marketing strategist, Norbert Orlowitz.
Hello, online playmakers. If this is your first time tuning in to the Playmaker Sessions, thank you for choosing us, and don't forget to subscribe to the podcast on iTunes, and if you prefer video, our YouTube channel at onlineprofitplaybook.tv. As with all of our episodes, we have all the show notes, transcripts, and actionable tips over on the blog. Just head over to www.onlineprofitplaybook.com. You'll also be able to get access to my complimentary 5-video tutorial series on building the proper foundation for your online business, as well as several other free trainings, including my Instant Income Multiplier tutorial. And if you're ready to multiply your results fast, check out the premium membership of our Online Profit Playbook, where our guests open up their closely guarded playbooks and walk you step by step through the exact marketing funnels and sales process they use to build their audience, grow their influence, and make sales. Get the coveted Online Profit Playbook today. Just head over to onlineprofitplaybook.com and join the Playmakers. This week, I have with me my friend from the UK, author, speaker, coach, and trainer, Gavin Mountford. Gavin has been a full-time internet network marketer since 2004. After making $10,000 per month very early on with his first internet business and then losing that money 3 years later, Gavin set out on a mission to find his passion, purpose, and point of focus and help others do the same. On his journey, he saw thousands of other people struggling online who were overwhelmed, frustrated, and were building their business the wrong way. Gavin's mission was to attract these people with his life-changing internet business training and coaching programs to help them succeed and live a balanced lifestyle while building up multiple streams of income in their business online. Gavin now lives an incredibly full life of freedom with no job, working for himself with his 2 children Lottie and Ben and wife Pippa in London, England, earning multiple streams of income from the internet. He is the creator of the 3 times lead method, my daily FB traffic system, 6-step sponsoring sequence, Attraction Marketing Academy, and team site traffic. This week's online playmaker, Gavin Mountford. All right, welcome back. It's Norbert Orlowitz here, and we've got another great interview coming up for you guys. We've got an awesome guest. I'm very excited to interview our next guest here today, all the way from the United Kingdom, across the big ocean. Gavin Mountford, how you doing today?
I am doing fantastic, thank you. Absolutely, across the other side of the world, basically.
Yeah. I've only been to London once, but I definitely want to spend a little bit more time there. And now I've got somebody to visit out there, so I definitely would love to come out there.
Definitely, well, you're invited anytime. So yeah.
Absolutely. Awesome, Gavin. We're going to jump right into this. We like to keep these interviews nice and tight and get right into the content. And Gavin, it's been awesome. It's been absolutely amazing to watch you grow as an entrepreneur and an online marketer over the last couple of years, because you've taken off in the last couple of years. You're a top earner, a master marketer. I love the content that you are putting out right now, the content and the training and the leadership that you provide to your audience, to the people that follow you. And you're doing some really cool things on social media, on Facebook, and building your business. And so I'm really excited for you to sort of take us inside of your business and share with us what's working for you right now. What are the things that you're doing in your business right now to get the incredible results that you're achieving. So Gavin, I'm super pumped about this.
Perfect.
So we're going to get started right away, and I want to take you back a little bit. And I know you've been marketing for a while now, so you might have to go back quite a few years here. But I want to take you back
to the big breakthrough. You know, all of us, I think, have had some kind of a shift in our marketing where there was kind of this moment of breakthrough, or there was multiple breakthroughs, because we've all, when we started, we've all struggled, right?
Yep.
Because all of us had to go through that learning process of what this whole online marketing thing is about, and how to generate leads, and how to brand yourself and position yourself, and all this kind of stuff. So take yourself back right now to the people listening that are struggling in their business. They're still struggling to really get results and make that breakthrough. And I want you to share with people, what was the big shift? What was the big breakthrough that happened from that point where you were struggling to the point where you were starting to finally get results? Like, oh yeah, everything's coming together. You know, I'm starting to get leads now. I get it. What were some of the breakthroughs there that happened for you? Those big aha moments that helped in that transition.
That's a very, very, very good question. And if I think about it, I used to be many years ago. It's probably going back close to 11 years now. I used to be in the gambling industry, and I had a portal and a network of gambling websites. You know, I built a list of about 40,000 people. I was making some very, very, very good money. But the big problem was I hated what I did. I didn't want to be teaching other people how to gamble, and essentially, you know, many people were taking the systems that I was recommending and selling, and they were implementing it, but most people didn't have the discipline, and many people ended up losing money as a result of it. And I didn't particularly want to be associated with that. I used to kind of use a pen name. I used to sell other people's products mainly. I had a couple of other people develop my systems that I used to sell, and I've packaged up into products. And you know, the niche at the time, the gambling industry, it was based around Betfair, which is a kind of a peer-to-peer platform over here in Europe. But I really didn't enjoy it at all. And the biggest thing for me was that I didn't want to do it. I did not want to be selling that kind of thing. So, you know, gradually over time, I started to do less and less and less with my business. I basically didn't want to get up in the morning, and it got to that point where I thought, I need to just stop this. I need to do something completely different. And then if I go back probably maybe a couple of years before, I was in network marketing. And network marketing, I struggled offline a lot, and I gave it up basically after a couple of years. Came into the gambling websites, did very well with that, dropped that, and then I thought, well, hang on a second, maybe I can take the skills that I've learned in the gambling industry with the online marketing, and I happened to come across, just like yourself, Mike Dillard's magnetic sponsoring. And you know, for me, that was a big shift. Was then to, rather than me hiding behind this kind of persona that I created in the gambling industry, which I didn't want to be doing, actually be myself. And very quickly I started to enjoy, you know, giving videos out, giving content out, writing emails, and actually being Gavin Mountford instead of this person hiding behind the screen, and actually just getting out there, meeting real people. And to me, that was the biggest breakthrough, because what happened was, you know, people started to come to me, people started to ask my advice, and I could actually deliver the value and the knowledge that I'd got and I'd gained over the last few years. So it was the biggest breakthrough. Definitely was going from hiding behind the screen and kind of not wanting to, not really believing in what I was selling, to completely changing that and being me, and actually, you know, attracting people to me through the value that I created.
Awesome. I love that you said that, because it just made me think of the interview I did yesterday with Bill and Michelle, and that was a big thing that came out as well, was just getting out there and creating and sharing the value that you were learning and that you were developing and that you're now bringing to the marketplace. And you also mentioned Mike Dillard's magnetic sponsoring, and obviously for a lot of us that got started around that time, you know, 2007, 2008, that was a huge influence on us as well. So I'm glad that you mentioned those two resources, magnetic sponsoring and then just talking about sharing value. So on that note, let's let me take it to the next question here, which is, when you think about your business right now, you know, I see a lot of marketers struggling because they're focusing on the wrong things. It's so easy to keep busy with an online business because it seems like there's so many things you've got to be doing, right?
Yes.
But I know that there's really a handful of things that produce the majority of results. It's the old 80-20 rule, right? So why don't you share with our audience, Gavin, what do you focus on? What are the money-making activities that actually produce the majority of your results and that you spend the majority of your time on to actually create results?
Yeah, very important actually. And what you said, it's so easy to get bogged down with everything, with the emails, with the Facebook messages, with the updates, and everybody just wants to be. It feels good to be busy, and unfortunately, a lot of busy work doesn't necessarily pay the bills. And there's several areas that I focus on specifically myself. In fact, probably three areas that I can think of off the top of my mind right now. And number one is, front end content. Without any front end content, when I say front end, I'm talking about blogs and podcasts and status updates, all of the kind of stuff that free, prospects are going to see. Without creating any front end content, what tends to happen is nobody gets to know you. You can't reach new people without doing that. Front-end content I also would class as, for me, I would kind of package it up into paid advertising as well, because you're still writing solo ads, you're still creating. So creating content of some kind is one of the most important aspects. And front-end content, which means free content that people don't have to pay for, that people can then find you. The second area that I focus on specifically is back-end content, so creating my own information products, my own webinars, and having my own members area that I can then lead people from the front-end content to the back-end content where they've actually paid some money. Maybe it's $7, maybe it's $47, maybe it's $297, but they've paid money, and that becomes premium content essentially that you can then sell to other people. But when I first started, I literally just focused on front end, and I wondered why I wasn't making any money. It's because I wasn't monetizing and I wasn't creating anything on the back end, something else that people wanted. And the third thing that I would say to focus on is relationships, and I'll talk about this a little bit more later. But I use a high-touch, high-tech model, kind of a hybrid method between internet marketing and network marketing. Most people focus on either one or the other, just internet marketing, which is automation. And that's the big problem that most network marketers face when they come online, because they want to automate everything, which it tends not to work with most network marketing businesses. So, building the relationship side of things, which is the personal connection. But again, you've got to be speaking to the right people, and you can't just be picking up the phone to speak to every person under the sun, because you're going to run out of time very, very quickly. So front-end content, back-end content, and building relationships.
Beautiful. Beautiful. And that goes really in line with a lot of the stuff that I teach, and a lot of the stuff that other people are saying as well. When it comes to content, is a huge part of our business, isn't it, online?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and it's not that you need to be a blogger necessarily. We don't all need to be bloggers. I love the way that you separated this into front-end content and back-end content. I think that's a great distinction for people to have, understanding the front-end content that's going to attract people to you. And I'm going to assume that you also use that front-end content in your follow-up with your leads, with your email leads and stuff, correct?
Yeah, exactly. Through broadcast messages and follow-up messages, yeah.
Right, exactly. I love it because as I'm interviewing more and more people, and looking into their businesses, we see so many similarities, right? Mm-hmm. Everybody that's actually creating results, they're actually doing a lot of the same things. So it's great to see those similarities, because hopefully it's going to help our listeners to really understand what they need to be focusing their time and energy on, right?
Definitely. Yeah, absolutely. Because there's so much you can get bogged down with.
Absolutely, yeah. Okay, awesome. So let's talk about your business now specifically. Obviously, getting traffic is like this big thing in the industry, and everybody thinks that I need to get more traffic. I need to generate leads, and a lot of marketers think that all their problems will be solved if they can just generate traffic and leads. Of course, you and I know that is just one part of your business, and there's a lot more that comes into building a successful business beyond that. But let's talk about traffic and lead generation right now, and specifically, what are you doing in your business right now, focused on getting traffic and generating leads?
I love this topic, and I'm going to say something that probably that most people are hoping to hear. I didn't do paid advertising for about 8 or 9 years in my business. Most of the leads I generated was social media, through building relationships, by leveraging other people, by creating tribes and building like communities and attracting people into those communities that way. I think for me right now, I'm using Facebook ads, but the biggest thing that I'm going to say is that I only get and I only generate, certainly from Facebook at the moment, and this is deliberate, and I'll tell you why in a second, I only generate around 30 leads per day, and I keep my budget at about $50 a day. I do not do solo ads. I do not do mass advertising, and I've got an incredibly powerful follow-up sequence that, again, as I said previously, combines hybrid marketing with combines internet marketing with network marketing. So it's a hybrid model, and I've actually very recently I've started my wife has been using my follow-up sequence. She's never done anything like this before. I've got my mom involved doing the follow-up sequence, so I'm scaling up gradually doing this process. And when you follow the process, and when you actually implement that kind of hybrid method, you don't need that many leads, because the people, when you need a lot of leads, is for a solo ad, you'll pay a certain amount of money, you'll drive 1,000 visitors, you'll get, let's say, 300, 400 leads, and then you'll be blasting emails out to those people constantly, and it's a one-way conversation. Whereas when you take it to the personal connection and you use the kind of high-touch method, it becomes, just imagine for a second, if you knew every single person that was on your email list and you had access to their, let's just say, Facebook details, so you could personally message them and build a conversation, so it becomes an engagement rather than just a one-way conversation. So that's pretty much what I do. Facebook ads, send people to a capture page, send people to a community, and actually build the relationship with those people. And my conversion rates are sky high, they really are. And to get people on a webinar, I can get let's say 100 people registered, and 70 to 80 of those people will actually show up on that webinar, and 20 to 30 of those people will actually buy because of this kind of high touch, high tech kind of method. So the great news for most people here is that you don't actually need hundreds or thousands of leads every single day to build a sustainable and long-term, very profitable business.
And that's really the difference between quality and quantity, isn't it?
It is, yeah, exactly that. That's the perfect way to put it.
Yeah, because you're really focused on generating quality leads that, in a sense, are earlier on in the process, they're developing a relationship with you, right? Like you mentioned solo ads, and yeah, solo ads are cold leads. If you're getting a 8 to 10% open rate on the solo ad leads that you've generated, that's a good thing. That's
definitely.
Open
that's
rate.
Very good.
What's your open rate on your emails that you send to your leads?
It depends which lists, but around between 15 and 30%.
Right, between 15 to 30%. So that's a 2 to 3 times higher quality prospect for every 100 leads you generate. If you're getting 20 to 30 people to open that, you've got 20 to 30 engaged people. If you're generating 100 leads with solo ads, you're getting 8%, 8 people to open that, right?
Yeah.
There's 92 people that aren't even getting your emails.
No, definitely, yeah. And it's just a one-way conversation as well, mostly because you're broadcasting to them. There's no engagement back, and that's what I see as the kind of the big challenge. And you've also got to be a very good copywriter to persuade people through email that way as well.
Very cool. Well, I'm really excited for our premium interview for our premium members, because I know that you're going to be walking us through some of this process of how you take your prospects and how you include that high touch into your marketing, which is really cool because you're one of the few internet marketers that are doing that, and I think you've got a really great balance there between internet marketing and sort of more the relationship-based marketing. I'm really excited to share that with our viewers. Okay, so you're focused very heavily on Facebook then, you're saying, for your traffic and lead generation.
Yeah, exactly.
Is that really your main traffic strategy at this point?
Yes, besides blogging, it is, yeah. I mean, for from a paid advertising perspective, yes. I mean, I use blogging, I use podcasting, and just viral. I build a community who then invite people into the community, and it just naturally goes viral that way.
Yeah, and obviously you already mentioned content. You're creating content on a regular basis. So, I mean, if you're going to create content, you might as well leverage blogging, YouTube and podcasting, right?
Yeah, might as well. Yeah, definitely, because it's all you can repurpose the content as well in multiple different ways.
Exactly, and that's another reason why you'll hear all these leaders that I'm interviewing, all of them talk about content, creating content. It's a cornerstone of their business because you can use it in so many different ways. Awesome, great stuff. Okay, so let's talk really quickly about monetizing your business right now. Okay, this is another area where I see a lot of beginning marketers really struggle with this idea of monetizing and understanding how to best monetize their audience. I see a lot of people that don't really have a monetization strategy. Maybe they pick an affiliate product, a marketing system, or a business opportunity, and they think that their job is to go out there and promote that one product or that one business opportunity or something like that. And to me, as an internet marketer, that's not a monetization strategy. Mm-hmm. So I want to help people kind of understand that, and maybe you could share with us, what does your monetization strategy look like? How do you, all this audience that you build, these relationships that you make, how do you make money from that? What's your strategy there?
Yeah, and I guess I've got several different strategies.
Perfect.
I'll run through very quickly. I tend to brand myself first, obviously, which means that I'm never leading with a product or a service or a network marketing business. I'm always leading with myself, and people are like, well, how do you actually make money from that? And it's what you said is a very important point, because you bring people into a community and into your circle of influence. And if you are a network marketer and if you're building a network marketing business using the internet, you've got to find ways to make money back through, if you're paying for advertising first. So I always have affiliate marketing in my monetization strategies, where I make money by recommending other tools, services, and software that can help other people generate leads and generate more traffic and build their business using the internet. So that becomes my let's say I make $50 a day, for example, or $100 a day from selling affiliate products. That then becomes advertising money that you can then put back into your advertising. So essentially, let's just say you make $50 in a day. Well, you put that money back into advertising for the next day, and you generate your leads for free, essentially. And then what I normally do is I'll always aim to get people to speak to people on the phone. And again, that's probably the biggest difference between myself and some of the other top marketers, and then other people that. This is the difference between internet marketing and network marketing, and kind of the hybrid between the two. And when I speak to people on the phone, it becomes I tend to become a consultant, essentially. So I'm not just literally trying to sell them into a business opportunity right away. I'm always asking questions, finding out more about them, their pains, their problems, their challenges, their goals, their aspirations. And then let's say I've got a network marketing business, or I've got a top tier income business, or I've got an affiliate program. Dependent on where they're at, I can recommend one of those monetization strategies, essentially, or one of those products or services to help that person. So that's kind of my big overall picture. But right now, what's working for me is building the relationships, taking people through the process that I'm going to share with your premium viewers later, and actually personally inviting people to a webinar that I repeat every single week. I can repeat that webinar every single week because it's a personal invite, so nobody actually sees that I'm repeating it every week, and we've got a specific process in place. And because it's all done through building relationships, taking people from generating the leads into the community, a 4-phase follow-up sequence, onto a webinar, and then actually selling a low-priced product to bring people into kind of a paid funnel. That's what's working incredibly well. So hopefully that answers the question. Using affiliate marketing as the front end to then build like a network marketing business or a top tier business, and then also I use webinars with the process.
Yeah, so you mentioned a few things there. So you mentioned affiliate programs as recommendations. So I'm going to guess some types of, tools, marketing systems, software, perhaps some type of info product. So and again, it's that two-way conversation. You're finding out what they need, and then you're offering the correct solution for them. Correct?
Exactly. Yeah, because everybody's different ultimately.
Right, exactly. And then you also have this webinar in place, which is, so you're personally inviting people into this webinar, and on the webinar you're then selling what I would sort of consider your primary income vehicle.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay, great. I mean that's very similar to what a lot of marketers have there. When we talk about monetization strategy, we talk about having a variety of different offers, so you can suit the right solution for the specific problem that individual prospect has.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And yeah, it can be a little bit time consuming in a way sometimes if that's why it's always so important to speak to pre-qualified prospects who want what you've got. So I often use like a 20-minute strategy session. So people have to fill out a form first to get on the phone with me to then speak. And the great thing is that it becomes they want to speak to you. It's not like cold calling. It's not like chasing family and friends.
Yes.
It's like, wow, Gavin, I've seen you everywhere. I feel like I know you already, and I can't wait to speak to you, kind of thing. And that's so great to be in that position where you don't have to beg people to join your business.
Awesome. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when I started doing that back in 2008 after, 5 years of chasing after people in network marketing, what a huge shift that was, for confidence and for results, right? Because you're speaking with quality, qualified prospects who actually want to speak with you. I love it. I love it. All right, so we're going to wrap this up here. You've already shared so much incredible content, Gavin. You're sharing with people exactly what you're doing in your business right now to get results. And the big takeaway here is that it's not complicated. It's not rocket science. You're talking about the main things here that you need to focus on to create results. And you're very clear with exactly what you're doing. So this is really great. So let's just leave the audience right now. For those listening here today who are getting a ton of value from you, could you please leave with our listeners here, what 3 tips would you have for our listeners to creating a profitable online business? From all your experience with all the people that you coach and work with, just leave people with a few things to really focus on. 3 big tips that's going to help them break through in their business right now.
Well, I guess I would go back to the kind of the 3 things I talked about previously, and that is, number 1, always be creating front-end content. I have a little acronym that I use. It's called the CART method, K-A-R-T, and essentially get knowledge. So, go out and learn from somewhere and get knowledge. Take action on that knowledge, and if you're reading a book, if you're listening to an audio, make some notes, then take action on it, and actually implement what you learn. And from the action that you've taken, you're going to get some results back from that, and then teach those results. So get knowledge, take action, get results, and then teach back to other people. That's the most important thing for the creation of the content, certainly the front end content. And as you continue, the second thing that I would say, again tying back into what I said previously, is start to think about, once you've got knowledge in a certain area, start to think about taking that knowledge and packaging it into some kind of premium content that you can then sell. Whether you just sell it for $7. I've got a $7 product that literally generates customers every single day. Those customers have voted with their wallet. They've put their credit card out. They are serious people. And when it comes to then recommending a business later, they're much more likely to join than somebody that has never been through that process. And then the huge thing is, what I've noticed is that the more people I help out with a problem that they've got, whether it's somebody's they've tried to log into my members area and they can't get into it for some reason, and their password's not working, or they're struggling with something. Every single time I reach out to somebody, it becomes a touch point where I actually it becomes, and the more of these little touch points that you can have with people that are obviously pre-qualified, the much more likely it is that they're going to it's amazing what happens. Let's just say somebody's got a problem, they can't log into the website for any reason at all. They'll send me a message, and I actually personally reach out back to them, and I say, I'll help you, I'll sort it out, and I do that. And that becomes that touch point, and that means that they're much, 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 much more likely to join later. And yeah, those would be the three things. So again, front-end content, back-end content for your own products, and the relationships again. So it all ties back to that for me.
I love it, Gavin. Beautiful. Thank you so
Awesome.
much. Incredible clarity. And I hope that the viewers and the listeners really got it here. And again, it's just about focusing on those things that are the most important for your business. And I love the way that you summarize that: front-end content, back-end content, and those touch points, the relationships. There's lots of different ways to do that. It's interesting to see the different strategies that different marketers have. But really, it comes down to those basic things. Gavin, thank you so much for being here and for sharing with our viewers and our listeners here, some great wisdom, some great advice on some very specific things that they can do right now, right after this interview, start implementing in their business. So appreciate your time, appreciate your knowledge and expertise, and I look forward just to seeing what you're going to be coming up with over the next year as you grow your business.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Great to be here.
Awesome. Thanks, Gavin.
I hope you enjoyed this week's Playmaker session. If you love the session, subscribe now to our YouTube channel so you never miss our weekly episodes. Be sure to also subscribe to the podcast on iTunes. Just type in Online Playmakers in the search bar and click subscribe, and be sure to leave a 5-star review. All of the episodes, show notes, transcripts, resources, and bonuses are available on the blog over at onlineprofitplaybook.com, along with several bonus free tutorials I've created for you as well. Your fast track to results is to follow the Playmakers. You can download their closely guarded playbooks and follow them step by step to grow your influence, build your audience, and create results in your business right now. Head over to onlineprofitplaybook.com and join the Playmakers to get full access today. Thank you again for joining us today, and be sure to tune in next week as we bring you another power-packed session with the top Playmakers online. This is Norbert Orlowitz, signing off.